In some cases, their desires, their goals, and their interests may be different from, maybe even contrary to your own. And so I can't say that, well, so-and-so is not a competitor, they're on my team. They're a partner, not an adversary, not an enemy. We don't need to have any kind of understanding. We don't need to have any kind of accounting. They can do what they want and I can do what I want. That is not a partnership. That is a recipe for failure. Whether it be in business, whether it be in a marriage, whether it be in any other project that you embark on in life, there has to be some sort of understanding and accountability in order for two individuals with different thinking, with different interests to be able to work together. وَطَالِبْهَا بِحُقُوقِ اللَّهِ مُطَالَبَةَ الْخَصْمِ خَصْمَهِ. And then make sure that you are demanding the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from yourself and your soul, your nafs, the way that an adversary, an antagonistic person demands something from an adversary. You can see that there are sometimes cases where a relationship turns from being cordial to being adversarial. And there is a very different logic and a very different process that is going to be followed. Sometimes there are family members. They were very close at one time, and then they fall out with one another. And the closer they were before, the stronger the relationship and the partnership was before, the more they know about one another, their secrets, their personality, their strengths and their weaknesses. Sometimes the mukhasama and the antagonism will become that much stronger as a result. There might be a husband and a wife. They were married, they were building a life together, saving up, planning for personal and for professional changes and advancement in their life. And God forbid if they have a falling out, if there is a separation, then all of those things that they liked about one another, all of those things that they were willing to overlook and were willing to forgive, and in some cases maybe compromise, now they become a cause of concern. They become a cause of difference of opinion. So there are different ways that we will have an understanding with somebody that is on our team, and that we will have an understanding with somebody who is on the opposite team. Alaykum as-salam. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu was-salam in this hadith says that in the first place you need to separate yourself from your nafs. In the second place, you need to have one type of muhasabah which is going to be a amicable muhasabah. And in the second place, you need to have one type of mutalaba or muhasabah that is going to be an adversarial muhasabah. So there are three messages that we have in this hadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He says that jahid nafsak, reckon with yourself, fight against yourself. And fight is perhaps, because it evokes the Orientalist definition of jihad, maybe it's not the best translation. Jahid nafsak, struggle against yourself. وَحَاسِبْهَا مُحَاسَبَةَ الشَّرِيكِ شَرِيكَهِ, then account and audit it the way that a partner will audit his or her partner, his or her fellow team member. وَطَالِبْهَا بِحُقُوقِ اللَّهِ كَمُطَالَبَةَ الْخَصْمِ خَصْمَهِ, and demand the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, huququllah, from your nafs, the way that an adversary, an antagonistic person will demand his or her rights from an enemy. So our first question is, what is jahid nafsak? We say that we have a team, we see two people are friendly, they form a single unit, and in some cases that unit breaks up. When the unit breaks up, they no longer form a single team. They no longer are working for the same goal, for the same purposes. Each and every one of those two members of that team or more members they will go their own way. With my own self, how is it possible for me to say that I am two different people? Multiple personalities is generally considered to be a negative thing and a mental illness. It's not something that we try to develop, where I am in conflict with myself. Psychologically also, generally, people have a tendency to reduce cognitive dissonance. We have that desire to try to justify and harmonize things that may not seem to be harmonious. And so if I do something that my conscience tells me is wrong, it won't be long before my conscience tells me that it wasn't really that bad. You may have been harsh to that person, but they deserved it. They had done something in the past that was unfair to you. And so your reaction was not evil or oppressive, but it was just a fair response to what they did. That process of harmonizing disparate and conflicting realities is a psychological and a spiritual process that can come to our benefit, or it can harm us, depending on where and how we use it. But it's a natural process. Sometimes we make big mistakes in life, and rather than coming to terms with those mistakes and realizing our mistakes, we begin to justify our mistakes so that we can say that we weren't that off base. We were okay. What we did was correct. So that's the natural process, that we try to reduce that disharmony, that conflicting element within our life, to bring a bit of consistency and harmony for ourselves. Amir al-Mu'mineen says that you are to stand up and pretend that you are outside of your own soul and that you are looking in. Jahid nafsak. Child psychologists say that there is an age, usually they say it's somewhere after infancy, where a child begins to realize that they are not the center of the entire world, and they are one individual, and other people are separate individuals with their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own desires and goals. And there are different studies that psychologists have to try to measure that. They might not be a perfect measure, but for example, they will do an experiment where they will put a stain on an infant's face or on the nose, and then show that child a mirror and see if the child is able to touch their own face and realize that they are looking at their own reflection and not that the mirror is somebody else, or the ability to see and perceive anger, empathy in other people. So this is something that psychologists, they have different ways of trying to measure and determine at what age does a person realize that they are an individual and there are other individuals. Generally, they say that it is sometimes after the first 2 years, after infancy, when this knowledge and realization begins to develop within a person, and then it's gradual. So because I want something, it doesn't mean that it's actually good and that you also want it. You may want something else. That realization, it will develop slowly and over time. What Amir al-Mu'mineen is asking us to do is to go not just to the extent of realizing that there are other individuals, but that even our own desires and our own soul needs to be analyzed and needs to be managed. And we have it within ourselves to stand outside our soul and to look within. Now, I describe that process because many of us, we are stuck at that first level. I am in a marriage, I have parents, I have a spouse, I have children, but none of those relationships and the hopes, the aspirations, the wants, the frustrations, the vulnerabilities, the different emotions of the other people in my relationships are important to me. All I know is what I want, what I need, what I'm feeling, and I will take out my anger, I will vent, I will act at other people to other people, but not with other people. So it's not that we have this stage where we can respond to Amir al-Mu'mineen and say that we will analyze ourselves within. We still don't realize that even other people are not subservient to me and just puppets and pawns in my life, but they are individual actors, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created them and sustains them and loves them just as much or maybe more than He sustains and He loves me. That is a prior stage which allows us to go from infancy to childhood and adulthood. Once we have taken that stage, then we have to go one step further and say that within my own self, I need to be able to evaluate. I need to be able to struggle. I need to be able to say that sometimes I feel something. Sometimes I want something. Sometimes I have a strong repulsion that puts me in a negative view of a person or an action or a place. Or I might have a strong attraction, but that attraction is not good for me. That repulsion is not good for me, and I need to be able to think about it and analyze it. So Amir al-Mu'mineen, when he says that you need to do jihad against yourself, what he is telling us is that we should be able to develop that sense of a conflict within ourselves. And to be able to empathize with other people is one good step for us to be able to analyze ourselves. It's not two separate processes. If I have empathy for other people and I can feel their feelings, if I can observe well from their facial expressions, from their demeanor, what is going on in their heart or their mind, then I will be able to also derive lessons from that I can use in analyzing myself and in coming to terms with what struggle I need to embark on individually. And so if Islam tells us that when you make dua, start by making dua for others. And an angel will make dua for you. That's not just a random teaching that Islam gives us to say that I will pray for you and have the angels pray for me. When I pray for you, I am thinking about what is going on in your heart. What is it that you need from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? I am developing a humility and an empathy, and I am developing that realization that I am not the center of the world. And once I develop that realization and that sympathy, then I become more worthy for angels to pray for me and for my spiritual prayers to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is perhaps why marriage is something that is so highly recommended in Islam. In contrast to other religions that teach that the greatest spiritual people are those who are celibate. They take a vow of celibacy. They say that we're going to dedicate ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not our personal gratification and desires and having a family and having children. Marriage is one of those ways that we can most intimately and most directly experience that responsibility for the well-being and the happiness of another human being. And we can perceive how much a single frown, a single smile, or a single silent action, without even a word being expressed, can have an effect on another person, a creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the sense of obligation that we can acquire. Not everyone who gets married achieves that altruism, achieves that empathy. But through marriage, we have the ability to open that door. Through having children, we have the ability to open that door. And so in the manner of our dua, in the manner of making our life decisions, in the manner of our congregational worship, where we come together rather than praying individually, we have examples of how Islam has encouraged us and assisted us in developing that realization that there are other people to whom we have an obligation and a responsibility. So Amir al-Mu'mineen says that this is the first thing that you are to do, and you are to see that there is a conflict. Now, very briefly, I want to just make a point, and this is something that we can talk about in more detail elsewhere. Theologically, there are different views that people have about whether there is real conflict within the world or whether there isn't. There are some religions, many pagan religions, they believe that the Lord who created the beautiful world is not the same Lord who sends earthquakes and destroys. So there must be a God of wisdom and beauty and creation and a God of death and destruction. The God of light cannot be the God of darkness. The God of creation cannot be the God of destruction. That is one view. Then there are those religious, spiritual traditions that say that everything is theater. There is no real conflict because God is the architect of the entire world. And so if there seems sometimes to be conflict, then it's kind of like if I am writing a play that is going to be shown in a theater, then I might create a conflict between the two characters. But those characters are defined by me. Their role is defined by me. Their dialogue is written by me. In the month of Muharram, in some communities, there are plays of the events of Karbala that are sometimes enacted. And if you see somebody playing the role of Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, and you see somebody playing the role of Muslim ibn Aqil, there is a conflict and an altercation between the two. But the actor who is playing Muslim ibn Aqil is a lover of Imam Hussein. The actor who is playing the role or depicting the role of Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad is just as much or more of a lover of Imam Hussein than the one who is playing the role of the ambassador of Imam Hussein. Sometimes people watching that will develop a greater sympathy for one of the actors than for the other. And so if I am watching one of those plays and I see the actor playing the role of Muslim ibn Aqil, I want him to win. And if I see the actor playing the role of Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad, and as he is acting, he stubs his toe, I might think, well, he deserves it because he was playing the role of a tyrant. But in reality, both of them are doing that in order to depict and help others understand the events of Karbala. Is there a real conflict? We might be fooled sometimes. But the reality is that there is a harmony and it is an act. It is managed. So this is the other extreme, that there is no real conflict, and one extreme is that there is absolute conflict, difference, and nothing brings them together. What Islam teaches us is that the conflict is real, but that conflict is at different levels of existence, and those different levels of existence have been put in place by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His wisdom and in His infinite knowledge. As we read in Dua Kumail, فَبِالْيَقِينِ أَقْطَعُ لَوْلَا مَا حَكَمْتَ بِهِ مِنْ تَعْذِيبِ جَاحِدِيكَ وَقَضَيْتَ بِهِ مِنْ إِخْلَادِ مُعَانِدِيكَ لَجَعَلْتَ النَّارَ كُلَّهَا بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا وَمَا كَانَتْ لِأَحَدٍ فِيهَا مَقَرًّا وَلَا مُقَامًا. That, O Allah, if you yourself had not said that you were going to create hell and punish eternally in it those who go against your purposes, then you would have made everything be bardan wa salama. Everything would have been peace, everything would have been conciliatory. There would be nobody who would burn in hell. لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين. But you declared and you vowed that you will punish in it all of those who are kafir and all of those who are mu'anid. Is there a real conflict or is there not a real conflict? Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like that king who said, I signed the decree and now I've changed my mind, but if I go against my decree then my own law and my own kingdom will be compromised, so I have to go ahead and kill the prisoner because I need to go with what I have written so people don't take it lightly? Is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that king who regrets his decision? Or was that أَقْسَمْتَ أَن تَمْلَأَهَا مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ مِنَ الْجَنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ also in accord with the wisdom? In other words, what this dua is telling us is that we are perceiving and pausing at a moment with the realization that there is a conflict that exists within creation, a tension between mercy and justice, a tension between punishment and retribution for evil doing, and grace, mercy, and forgiveness. That tension does exist, but it is under the wisdom. And in the words of this dua, the qasam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't come because there is a God of retribution and there is a God of mercy. It doesn't become because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has two different personalities. And sometimes He is angry and sometimes He is happy. It comes because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created and He has defined limits. That was what He promised. That was the qasam that He made. And once He made that promise, then that promise is to be fulfilled and carried out because it is in accordance with His knowledge and His wisdom. Yet it is still worthy of us to realize that there is an expansive mercy and forgiveness that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has, and at some level that tension does exist. As you move up in your awareness and conscience and you come closer to the higher level of Allah's names and attributes, then that conflict and that antagonism is reduced until it is resolved in the pristine unity and simplicity of the divine essence. But there is a real tension, there is a real conflict that exists within God's creation, created and controlled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're not just actors playing a role that Allah has compelled us into. Amir al-Mu'mineen wants us to understand and to appreciate and to pause at that tension. Separate out the various faculties that we have within ourselves, and once we have separated out those faculties, then we have two kinds of a response. One is a friendly response. One is an adversarial and antagonistic response. When it comes to personal development, we should think of ourselves as the sharik and the partner of our nafs. What does a sharik do? A sharik always tries to understand and to factor in what is the greater good of our company. Sometimes I have a partner, a business partner, a life partner, and I know that that person has cut some corners. They have been perhaps imprecise in some of their actions. Will I go and I call them out, embarrass them in front of other people, make sure that I get every last cent that I need from this transaction, even if it means that the business, that the project, that the enterprise is going to suffer? If I destroy my equity by getting my right in a small matter, then I haven't been a wise sharik or business partner. So when it comes to how we develop ourselves, the Imam says, حَاسِبْهَا مُحَاسَبَةَ الشَّرِيكِ شَرِيكَ. Hold yourself to account, but do it as a partner will do for a partner. You want to be just. You don't want to be a doormat. You don't want to be abused and taken advantage of. But at the same time, you are going to look at the long-term interest of your soul. In certain cases, you may back off a little bit from your soul and not pressure it because you want to maintain the relationship. You want to maintain the desire. And this is why ulama have said for us that when it comes to your nawafil, when it comes to trying to develop your spirituality, the moment you feel that this nafilah is something that your heart is not present in, you might be in the middle of the dua, you can stop reading the dua. You might be in the middle of an act of ibadah, you can abandon that ibadah at that time. Let your soul ready itself and develop in order to be able to maintain that relationship. That's not a universal principle that we always abandon things. As we have mentioned before, our Imams say that when you make a decision to do a recommended act of ibadah, then try to give yourself 40 days so you don't become a habitual quitter. But in principle, be aware of the longevity and the sustainability of what you want to do, because you are a partner for your soul in its development. And you do not have an interest in your partner being destroyed and losing his reputation and losing his ability to function within the company. That's not a victory for you. You've destroyed your equity and their equity in that enterprise. But then there are also certain things where we have to be strict. And the Imam says, وَطَالِبْهَا بِحُقُوقِ اللَّهِ مُطَالَبَةَ الْخَصْمِ خَصْمَهِ. That when it comes to the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, now you are not your partner for yourself and your soul. Now your nafs is your enemy. And when it comes to your enemy, when I am a plaintiff and there is a defendant, this is where I start to think, what kind of accusations can I make up to put pressure on that person? When there is a dispute, then people start to talk to lawyers, they take out restraining orders, they put a spin on events, even if they don't leave what is fair and what is just, in order to be able to make sure that they get every last cent, and that other person is going to be in a weaker position. In an adversarial relationship, you want to strengthen your position and weaken the position of your opponent. So when it comes to huququllah, then you are going to be a taskmaster. You are going to be an adversary to your own nafs. What that means is that here you are going to be aware not just of that greater good over the long term, but you are going to be aware of exactly where are the hudud of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you're not going to come to those hudud, but you are going to keep away. So if I know that this is when the time for prayer ends, I will stop whatever I am doing and make sure that I pray not at the border, but before that time. When it comes to something that is haram, I will make sure that I am protecting myself not just from what is haram, but what is close to it. Because I am an adversary for my soul, I want to weaken its position. So once again, the hadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen is that jahid nafsak, struggle against yourself. وَحَاسِبْهَا مُحَاسَبَةَ الشَّرِيكِ شَرِيكَهِ. At the level of your spiritual development, you are a partner and you are invested in the success of your soul. So be just, take it to account, but do so in an amicable relationship. The more your soul develops and strengthens, the benefit will come to you as well as its partner. وَطَالِبْهَا بِحُقُوقِ اللَّهِ مُطَالَبَةَ الْخَصْمِ خَصْمَهِ. And demand from your soul the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as an enemy demands its rights from an adversary. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He grants us the ability to embark on that journey and to have a constant process of self-development and increasing self-awareness. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. صلوا على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين وعلى علي أمير المؤمنين وعلى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة وعلي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والحجة بن الحسن القائم المهدي صلوات الله عليهم أجمعين. Brothers and sisters, astaghfirullah li wa lakum. I seek forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for myself and for all of you present. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He grant us as a community the ability to look within our own hearts and to come to terms with those areas where we may have been unjust to other people, unfair to other people, or where we may have not honored our relationship to them to the extent that we should have honored it and that we should have developed our closeness And that through that realization, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to make amends with our fellow human beings, connect ties that may have been cut off, forgive things that we may have held against other people in our hearts. And through that process of forgiveness and the softening of our heart, Allah grants us forgiveness from our own sins and shortcomings. And that when we come to the hereafter, Allah looks at us and says that whatever sins you may have committed, whatever mistakes you may have made, whatever wrong you may have done, because you were quick to forgive my servants, I will be quick to forgive and overlook your mistakes, you who are my servant. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us forgiveness and tawfiq and the company of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad in this life and in the hereafter. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna Allaha ya'muru bil adli wal ihsani wa ita'i dhil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkari wal baghi ya'idhukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.